It was for a children's Sunday in my church. Children were supposed to go in front of the church and recite verses from the Holy Bible. The previous week itself, my Sunday school teacher assigned 2 verses for me. It was just I was 6 years old, hardly 20 words. So I memorized it thoroughly. I was so excited because it was my first stage appearance. The previous day, I recited in front of my mom. The children's Sunday started. I was sitting in the audience along with my mom. My mom was little apprehensive because that was my first stage appearance. So she asked me whether I remembered those 2 verses. If someone would have asked India's missile man, Dr. Abdul Kalam, about some basics of missiles, how he would have reacted? The same confident look I gave to her. So she was also satisfied. Then after a few minutes, my turn came. Our Sunday school teacher announced my name. So I got up from that side, started moving towards the stage. First time in my life, some unusual feelings started. Some uneasiness started. First time, I left the crowd and came this side. Once I took the mic, I saw the whole crowd with great expectations. The verses would have started with, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing," and 2 more lines. I started with, "The Lord is my shepherd." Then my head started reeling. My throat started choking. Terrible feeling it was. And the whole crowd was singing at me. Again, I started, "The Lord is my shepherd." Pause for some seconds. And that time, I again started, "The Lord is my shepherd," and stopped. Some giggles I could hear here and there. My Sunday school teacher was standing beside, realized that the Lord has laid down Israel Jebasingh. She came, took over the mic, completed those 2 verses, and called the next name. I didn't have the courage to go back to the crowd and sit beside my mom. So I went to the back of the church, sat there. It was a terrible feeling. I felt so much ashamed. And those thoughts haunted me for years. After that, till I completed my college, I never went to the stage because I strongly believe these stages are made in hell. After my graduation, I was hunting for a job for almost 1.5 years. Finally, I got a job, and unfortunately, that was a lecturer job. Now, I was thinking, then I realized, anyhow, I have grown up now. So stage fear should not be there. So I accepted that offer, and the first day of my college was 3rd hour. So the class was supposed to start at 11 o'clock. So from morning 2 hours, I was sitting in the library and I was preparing thoroughly. It was anyhow my favorite subject, power plant engineering. I took notes. Around 10:40, the second period got over and the tea break started. So the bell rang. Suddenly I could hear students rushing out. That sound again created that lub-dub which I had when I was 6 years old. Somehow I managed. Around 11 o'clock, again bell rang, so I entered the class. All students were seeing me with great expectation because a new lecturer. I was carrying the notes, but again I went blank like when I was 6 years old. I thought of starting, but nothing was coming out. Fortunately, I found the attendance register lying on the table. So I went and grabbed it. I thought it is better to deal with a single person rather to the entire class. So I took the attendance register, started asking their name, which school they are from, and also what is their favorite subject in the engineering, to just kill time. As time was passing by, last 20 students were there, but time was more. I realized what I will do later. So for last 20 students, I started asking more details like their hobbies, parents' occupation, and to some students, even whether they are vegetarian or non-vegetarian. To a great relief, the bell rang with one more student left. I rushed out of the class, went directly to my head of the department's chamber, one Professor Radha Krishnan. I went and told, "Sir, I am resigning from post." He was taken aback. He asked whether students teased you. I told, "No, sir," and I explained about my stage fear and how I managed the class by taking attendance. Then he started laughing for almost 2 minutes as if he was watching some Charlie Chaplin movie. Then he asked me to sit down, offered me a cup of tea, and he asked me whether I knew bicycle riding. I told, "Yes, sir, I know. Even I can ride bikes." Then he told, whether you learned bicycle riding without falling. I told, "All fall, I also fell." Then he told, "See, public speaking skill is also like bicycle riding. Initial falls will be there. When it comes to bicycle riding, we all fall in front of our near and dear ones, maybe parents or siblings or close friends. So we don't take it personal. And we also know that everyone will fall initially when they learn bicycle riding. However, when it comes to public speaking, we all expect to give a world-class speech in the very first speech. Not at all. Like bicycle riding, public speaking skill should also be learned and initial falls will be there. With this, he rejected my resignation and he gave 2 weeks off for me and gave me a lot of tips. Now, whatever tips I learned from him, and also whatever I have learned all these years, I have come out with a 10-step method to overcome your stage fear. Now, the first step, if you want to overcome your stage fear, is never equate your personal worth with your public speaking skill. We don't equate our bicycle riding skill with our personal worth. Well, bicycle riding is different. Our personal worth is different. However, when it comes to public speaking, we all think great men or great women should also be great in public speaking. Not at all. Our father of nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Now, if you read his My Experiments with Truth, you will find out that he was suffering from acute stage fear during his initial days. When he completed his law and returned from England to India, for 5 months, he was running for cases in Bombay High Court. He never got a single case. He was so disappointed. Finally, he got one case from one Mr. Mummy Boy. This Mummy Boy offered him a small case. Gandhiji happily accepted it and he collected a nominal fee of ₹30. Day and night he prepared for the case and the day of his case came. And the judge asked, "Mr. Gandhi, please get up. You can cross-examine." Gandhiji stood up. His head started reeling. Unusual feeling. His throat was choking. And he was shivering. The same man, after a few years, in 1942, during Quit India movement, when he said, "Do or die," the whole nation was shaken. But the same man was shaking and shivering in front of a court few years before. After that, he just took that precious 30 rupees, his first fees. He returned to Mummy Bai and told, "Please find a better lawyer." Left the court. After that, he never practiced in Bombay High Court. In case if Gandhiji would have equated his self-worth with his public speaking skill, the world would not have got a Mahatma. So, first step is don't equate your personal wealth with public speaking skill. The second step is start wishing good morning, good evening to anyone you meet. It may appear very simple, but try it, it will work wonders. Do the second step for 1 week. Then comes the third step to overcome your stage fear. start preparing on your on a topic which is your favorite topic, maybe for 10 to 15 minutes. One, rehearse it, then go to your room, lock your room, stay alone there. Assume there is a big crowd. Imagine that big crowd you are addressing and start speaking on it. You can use some free apps are there, mobile apps are there, like Orai is there, Talk is there, or any other app. Once you complete the speech, get the feedback and start improving on it for a week. Then comes the fourth step. The fourth step is now the same speech, what you did it alone in your room, address it in front of your near and dear ones, maybe 4 or 5 members, your family members or friends, and get the feedback from them. Don't take it personal, just improve on it. The fifth step is now time to get an appointment to meet the lion in its den. You should now get an appointment for public speaking. You cannot learn bicycling just by seeing some TEDx video or reading a book. You should take the plunge. Now you should get an appointment maybe with a local Toastmasters club may be there, or in your school or college or workplace, wherever you are. Get an appointment for public speaking on a particular speech and start preparing on it. Then comes the sixth step, the day of your public speaking. Half an hour before your speech, eat a banana. You may ask, why banana? No, banana has potassium which will relax your nerves. It also has one more thing called tryptophan that will reduce your stress. So today morning I had a banana. So nothing wrong. So it will relax you. Then comes the seventh step. 10 minutes before your public speech, start sipping water. Don't drink too much water. Just sip water every minute. It will give a psychological cooling effect and it will also relax your throat. Then comes the eighth step. You should go to the dais. Now, when you go to the dais, at the time of fixing the appointment itself, you should have asked for a podium. Only good thing in a stage is the podium. Now, why podium? You can go and hide behind. You can give only the audience can only see your face. You can give a brave face, but keep trembling inside. No one is going to know. So, go for the podium. Then comes the ninth step. The ninth step is start speaking. But however, you should have carried a written speech in papers along with you. Whenever you get stuck, after it's your first speech, you have to fall. Immediately take that and start reading from that. Nothing wrong. You may feel, audience, what they will think. Let them think whatever they want. You have to learn public speaking. The greatest Prime Minister of Britain, Sir Winston Churchill, he is known for his extraordinary speeches during the wartime. If you read about him, when he was at his younger age, he had extraordinary stage fear. So, whenever he went for public speaking, he used to carry papers, and whenever he got stuck, immediately he took the papers and started reading. So, if Sir Winston Churchill could do, why can't you? And the last step, the 10th step for overcoming your stage fear is repeat stage performance again and again. Don't take it as a one-time exercise. Whenever you get an opportunity, whether it is a 5-minute speech or 10 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour, grab it, repeat it. There will be falls, but keep improving. I started my career as a lecturer where I had to give lectures every day. After that, I wrote the Indian Civil Service exam, qualified for Indian Railway Traffic Service. Again wrote the exam and got qualified for Indian Administrative Service. Now, as part of our training, every alternate day, we have to give presentation. After that, I was working as an IAS officer in the state of West Bengal. Now, as a public functionary, public speaking became part of my life. After that, I am running Officers IAS Academy for several years. And every year, I have to give lecture. Every day, rather, I have to give a lecture. Despite so much exposure in public speaking, today morning I had to eat banana. So accept stage fear is natural. Accept and try to manage the stage fear rather than running away from the stage. If you follow this 10 step, you can overcome the stage fear and become a public speaker. Before I conclude, I want to clarify that I was talking about only public speaking, not effective public speaking. Now, effective public speaking, once you learn public speaking, you can graduate to effective public speaking. Now, effective public speaking, I myself am not an effective public speaker. I am in the learning process. But I have observed these effective public speakers across the globe. They learn from words. Now, if you observe effective public speakers, often what you can see from them is they, like birds, spread their wings like this. They also spread and keep talking for 5 minutes. This is one way to impress the crowd. Another way, if you see these sparrows, birds like sparrows, they try to move their tails up and down. Similarly, you should also raise your hands like this, these two fingers up and down, and tell something. That is called within quotes. Okay. Now, anyhow, as of now, I am not an effective public speaker, so I cannot tell now, thank you and do like this. However, in future, in case TEDx invites me for effective public speaking, at that time I can do like that. As of now, thank you.